Cruise day can be stressful. The travel, the prep work, confirming you have all of the correct documents. We have this down to a science. Well, until they throw something new at us. Prepare for everything and you will start your cruise off right. Watch and learn what I mean as we board Holland America's Rotterdam in Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades. Today on Seymour Seas. After weeks, sometimes months of planning and expectations, it is cruise day and you're ready to start your cruise vacation. You are either in or near your port city by either driving or flying in at least one day before your cruise. If you are lucky like us and you are a short drive from a port, then it is time to grab your luggage, your documentation, and your camera because it's embarkation day. In this video, I will show you what our embarkation day rituals are, how we prepare for check-in at the port, what to expect when you get to the terminal, show you the boarding process, and take you through our initial stateroom tour. Hi everyone and welcome. I am Doug and this is Seymour Seas, your cruise tips and planning channel where I hope to help you and your family pick, plan, and enjoy your next cruise vacation. If you do find this video helpful in any way, as always, give it that thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Thanks so much everybody for stopping in today and let's get started. Let me start by giving you a brief overview of the cruise that we just took. Now, this was a 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise that stopped in Grand Turk in the Turks and Caicos, San Juan, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, and then back up to Half Moon Cay, which is Holland America's private island. We sailed on Holland America's Rotterdam, their flagship Pinnacle-class ship that was built and launched in 2020. It weighs in at 99,000 gross tons and has a passenger capacity of just over 2,600 guests. Our completely sold-out cruise was in late December of 2023, right before Christmas, and our guaranteed stateroom was assigned to us 1 week before our cruise, and it was a balcony stateroom with an extremely deep and large balcony, which I will show you on our room tour. As we're preparing for the cruise, I always make sure after final payment, when online check-in begins, that I go in and complete all of the online documentation and finish up all of the check-in process so that I can be assigned an early check-in appointment at the terminal. This is extremely important if you want to get to the port early and make sure you make the most of the time on board. We live somewhat close to Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale, so we have chosen on 7-day cruises to take an Uber to the port rather than do the off-site long-term parking. It's normally about the same price and it is much easier for us with much less stress and we don't have to worry about the parking shuttle filling up before we leave and they take us to our car. Hi, it's embarkation day and we are getting ready to call the Uber to get to the port. How do you guys normally get to the port? Do you drive or do you take the train? We're taking an Uber to Port Everglades. It's only about 30 to 40 minutes, so we're getting ready to call and hopefully everything goes smoothly. See you on board. At this point, I have printed out my boarding passes from online check-in that has the barcode associated with it. You don't have to print out the entire 30-page cruise documents, just the page that has your name and the QR code or barcode for the boarding pass. This is also on your app. Make sure that you do have that accessible. And I always do, for safeguards, take a screenshot of that boarding pass on the app if anything should happen inside the terminal and I can't get the app to load. My passport is in that backpack so that it is not in my checked luggage that I will hand to the porter once I get to the terminal. You will need that as part of check-in. All medications that you are taking should also be in that carry-on item or backpack, as well as if you are bringing wine on board. Most cruise lines do allow you, some do not, so make sure you're checking with your cruise line to see if those are available. And if so, make sure that they are in your carry-on luggage that you bring with you and not in your checked luggage. This will delay your luggage being delivered to your stateroom once on board. If you are taking a rideshare to Port Everglades, make sure once you get in the car that the driver does understand that their company, either Uber or Lyft, will have provided them with a code to show the agent to get through security. Depending on the security level of the port at that time, you're minimally going to need your government issued ID. We normally use our passport, and I also have the app open to show the boarding pass to the agent. Some are very, very lenient and you just flash your driver's license and they allow everybody to go through. Other times we've had to actually show our boarding pass and able to get through security to drive into the actual port itself. Another helpful tip for any rideshare to any port is that make sure that you understand and you see on your boarding pass or on the port website itself exactly which terminal you're going to be leaving from. This is sometimes called a terminal, other times it's called a berth. We were leaving from Terminal 26 or berth 26 at Port Everglades. So make sure that you enter that in the drop-off area of the rideshare app. Once arriving at the correct terminal, make sure that you unload your luggage, which has those pre-printed colored luggage tags either in the plastic holders or folded and stapled to your luggage handles. Hand the large luggage that you want to check to those porters outside the terminal. We normally tip $5 per bag. Some people say that's too much. I think it's just enough. So we normally have small bills available to tip the porters upon dropping off our large luggage. We then look for the correct entrance to the terminal. Many have separate entrances for various levels of their loyalty program, as well for suites and other type of VIP entrances. Depending on the cruise line, you may have to show your boarding pass and able to enter the terminal. Many times you just have to make sure that you show them your passport and that you're ready to board. Once inside the terminal, you will walk through a series of turnstiles. It could be crowded or like we had, it was not very crowded at all. We had a early afternoon check-in just before 1 o'clock and the terminal was pretty empty. You'll go through the terminal, you'll get to the point where you have to go through security, which is very, very similar to going through airport TSA. The check-in process past security at Port Everglades for Holland America this time was absolutely fantastic. I think it took us less than 5 minutes from curb to actual getting up the escalator due to the fact that they used facial recognition with our passports that was obviously linked to their reservation system. We were cleared immediately and was able to move forward through the check-in process, getting ready to get our picture taken before we moved further down the corridor and onto the ship. I always love getting to the gangway where you can actually see the ship, and it's always exciting the very, very first time that you are entering a new ship. On the Rotterdam, you enter on deck 2 near the ocean bar there to the left, and then you have the 3-story atrium, and the Pinnacle Grill is right there in front of you. The staterooms were ready when we boarded the ship, so we knew that our stateroom was located at the rear of the ship or near the aft. So we went to the aft elevator bank and went up just a few decks to deck 4, where we went to our stateroom, which was located right by the elevators, where we retrieved our key cards. The key cards now on most cruise lines will be outside of your stateroom when the staterooms are released, where you can go in and drop off your carry-on luggage. Your large checked luggage that you left at the porter outside of the terminal will be delivered to your stateroom sometime in the late afternoon. If you do not get it by 4 p.m., I would check with your stateroom attendant and have them track them down for you. Depending on what time you get on the ship, lunch is normally being served throughout the mid-afternoon and late afternoon, so make your way up to the buffet, grab a bite to eat, check out some of the other complimentary venues, such as on Holland America's Rotterdam. Dive In is their burger restaurant, and they also have New York Pizza and Deli. Both are complimentary, located in the midship pool area. Also a good tip, if you don't want to fight the lines at the buffet, the main dining room on board most ships is open for lunch on embarkation day. This is a great way to have a stress-free embarkation and enjoy a very nice lunch in the main dining room. Before we made our way up to lunch, we wanted to make sure that we could get into our room, drop off our bags, and do a cabin tour for you. So check this out. Keys are at the door. Come on in. It's a little tight, a little bit smaller than what it says online, but still very nice. All right, we'll do a cabin tour here in just a few minutes. As you enter the stateroom, you will see that we do have a nice size king-size bed. It can be split into two twins if you'd like it that way. A nightstand with two drawers. The phone is there with a USB outlet, a US outlet, and light control. Flat screen television that was very, very nice, as well as a corner storage area. The king-size bed had great linens. You see here that we have two complimentary Mariner bags, another nightstand with two drawers, and a USB US outlet and light control. The life jackets are in the above the sofa storage area. The desk area has three drawers. They're quite small, and it does have USB, two US outlets, and two European outlets. Nice makeup mirror there. And look at this balcony. It was so large. As we enter the room, this is what we see. Look how humongous this is. As we take a look at the rest of the room, we did have a connecting stateroom, so you saw the door there. This corner storage area was quite nice. If you did bring bottles of wine, there are stemware in this cabinet, which was very nice, and they do have a bottle opener. Inside the closet, you'll find the safe that is big enough for both of our laptops, and we did have two robes there as well. Inside this cabinet, you'll find the mini fridge, which I found was a great space for it. It was well stocked. However, you can have your stateroom attendant remove this because these are not part of the drink package. Below that, you do have three large drawers, soft clothes for all of the drawers in the cabin, and then the closet was very spacious with lots of hanging area, lots of hangers, as well as a umbrella to use. Those are two beach towels that are also included each day that you do have a beach excursion. The light switch is located inside the door, as well as the key card holder that controls the electricity in the room. Main light controls are located here, as well as the bathroom light. The bathroom was well appointed, however, a bit tight and small. 3 shelves there by the mirror, and then a very large shower that we really did enjoy. Towels are provided daily, and the service in the bathroom was excellent. So there you go, everyone. That was our embarkation day with tips for boarding in Port Everglades on Holland America Line's Rotterdam. We had a great cruise during the week. However, we did have some very rough seas and some rough weather. So I'll be having a few videos coming out in the next few weeks showing all of the ports, the food, the entertainment, and even a full ship review using Doug's Ship Score. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those videos, as well as all of the cruises and cruise tips that we have planned for the coming year. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching, and as always, I'll see you again soon.